Alrighty. So, uh, I was looking at the theory, the Transtheoretical Model, and the stages of change. So, for this one here, to kind of give it an overall explanation, it is a combination of about 25 theories, and it is formed into a model to help people go from have how to go from one spot to another as they go through change. Uh, it's very lenient in how categories work, but having that model is a good way to monitor the flow of change. So I mean, as a in the area of behavior and education, this is something that is helpful in looking at different ways to help people get past a barrier that's in their way, or to just guide directions, and to have a landmark to look forward to. So with the trans theoretical model, there are six different stages in there. There's the pre-contemplation, and that one is closer to just that the feeling that you get that something's not right with the current behavior. It could be a negative feedback from just something you realize from someone else could have said something. These are just the little things that are coming to there and forming the idea of, okay, I need to start thinking about this. And then that's when you get to contemplation, and that's where you're starting to look, okay, what can I do to get this? What's in my way? How do I get it? And that's what you want to be able to go, uh, to feel like you have control of it, that you're gonna, you know to help uh, build, the relationships that are there, and just the feeling of knowing that, like, okay, I can do this. That just so much for people. And when you go to the next stage, which is preparation, you're gonna need that momentum. You're gonna need that I can do it to get there, and to get all the information you need, and to really go, okay, what do I need to do this? What's, like, I'm about to go on a trip. What do I need? When do I need to pack? Uh, and then, so for action, there's also too, that's how you're getting it done. And I said, you're gonna keep that up. You're gonna have to keep up the momentum, keep up the I can do it. You just keep pushing through. You make sure that you're getting the results that you want. You just keep doing it you know until you got it. And then, then that's when you go to, like, okay, and you're just maintaining, and that's the fifth stage. Uh, and then that one is it's really just finding out, okay, what do I need to do to keep this going? So for someone who wanted to eat better, to go from being obese to going down to, like, an overweight, or average weight, then that's where you could see, uh, those changes, the condition, like all the ones that can go, okay, well, every once in a while I can still have this, or have a sweet, have dessert, and it's not going to really destroy what I've built. So knowing your limits, knowing what you can do to maintain what you're following, whether it be the guidelines uh, set forth by the numerous organizations out there, uh, you know, it's that's the key for maintenance. Then lastly is termination. It's going, okay, like, uh, it's time to go. Okay, I am done with the increase of whatever. This is now a, a change in my behavior over my life, and that's that kind of, that reinforcement that you need, that, hey, you're doing the right thing. Uh, Now, looking at the one moment, the limitations and the strengths. of the trans-theoretical model is that uh, yes, it's very broad. It can go across, I think there's 50 behaviors. It's it's supported. It's you can the variable settings. It kind of works where you can make it work, but the limitation is you know we don't always know how long for like retaining people. How long are they going to need? Is everyone the same? How much time should you be contemplating versus pre-contemplating versus uh, you know preparing? There's a lot, and there's no other uh, you know uh, super strengths that kind of call out any kind of strict criteria. It can be very loose, but that's okay because I said when you're covering so many different behaviors, it's important to understand that it's okay to have some gray area, that and that's one of the biggest strengths and weaknesses that I see. Let's see, and then I am going to talk about the behavior of my choice. So I did mention a BC. I'll go to a different one on that one. So I look at speeding. So it can be dangerous, it can not be dangerous, but the behavior. Uh, so the way I would see this working is that I would go, okay, uh, someone's speeding, then you almost get wrecked. You have a couple close calls, or something happens out of the blue. Um, what do you do? And examples of that would be I said that that's that concentrating that you didn't know, like, hey, this driving is kind of dangerous, or you see if you wreck, see the difference between 5-10 miles an hour, what that would make on it. Uh, and with that, then is that it's about going and just getting that evaluation part done. Like when you're doing self evaluations, like one of the questions to go, okay, if I you know drove the speed limit, what would be the difference? Well, I drove the speed limit. I would get there, probably a little bit later, but not too much. Or I, may get stuck in traffic if I don't, get past a certain point from when I get off work. Those are the things that goes, okay, what would I do if I kept speeding? If I kept speeding, what if I hit someone? What if I damage the car? What if a mechanical failure with the brakes? This is that juice that you need to keep to keep it moving, to keep that change. That's what I really like about reevaluation is that it's really taking the time to go all the what ifs, process them, and like at least get an idea of where you're going with it next. Um, let's see, and then next would be the prep stage on this one, and for that one, it's the same thing. It's going okay. What do I need to do? How do I keep fixing this? And one thing that really comes back is I want to touch on again was the social liberation. It is make sure I have the right slide. Uh, the social liberation. That one is that the opinions or alternates to support behavior. So it's saying, hey, if everyone else is driving fast and doing that, if you're just going in and being okay, like, hey, I can drive in the right lane, I can drive in the slow lane, I can just get where I need to go and not add risk to my travel. And that's something that says, okay, like I just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean I have to. And so that's that liberating feeling is that I'm confident that you know I'm good enough with me and my friend, or with the rest of the drivers that hey, you know what, I'm going to take my foot off the pedal and I won't feel like I need to go faster because there's someone on my tail. That's not that's not what's going to what's driving me towards this. That I'm okay with. I'm going to drive slower because I want to be uh, a safer person, safer driver. So, you know, uh, with that, I want to kind of, yes, you look at that and you can adjust speed and you can see how you know, go into the vision, what can I do different, and how can I make this work? What can I do to leave to maintain it? Okay, well, if I leave every day 10 minutes earlier, I can make it work, miss traffic, and not have to worry about speeding. And then hopefully, eventually, it just becomes a conscious thing that you do. You slow down, you take the time, you find out a way to get the best for everyone. You get the best for you on a safety perspective. You get the best for the road. It's overall helpful, and it just takes it does take a lot of work. It takes some time. It takes a lot of really focusing on uh, what can push this change, and that's uh, what I got from that. So, question I'm gonna throw out there is that with all the stages, they did mention that you can go forward and backward and back and forth. Identifying that, and what would you call that that feeling when you do fall back? So what if you're in action and then you just get blindsided and you're back to contemplation again? So all that preparation you did, that's a lot. It's gonna hurt, and hopefully, with using these models, find a better way to either prevent such a blowback or to just find out what can be done in the action phase or the maintenance phase to really cover that lost ground. So that's all I got right now, and that's it.